It's Randy Orton.
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Hey guys, Mr. Beatle890 here, and today I'm going to be doing my predictions for 2015 Hell in a Cell. So yeah, let's get started with the predictions. I just want to note, much like Night of Champions, I haven't really been keeping up to date much with the product in terms of actually watching Raw. Like, I've been catching up with YouTube clips, that sort of thing. So yeah, maybe my stance on certain matches and feuds may not be the best, but I'll give it my best shot because I like to do these prediction videos. So yeah, let's get started. So I think we'll kick off with the kickoff show match, funny enough. So this is a six-man tag, Ziggler, Cesaro and Neville versus Rusev, Sheamus and King Barrett. And one thing I've kind of noticed quite a bit when it comes to six-man tags, I'm talking more about just when they throw together three faces and three heels. Usually when they do this, especially on Raw and SmackDown stuff, usually the faces win. So often the faces win, and it was something that I didn't even notice, but my friend kind of pointed it out to me. He was saying how, you know, have you noticed that in six-man tags the baby faces pretty much always go over, and that's something that I really didn't notice until he brought it up. But I would say that is actually true. And using that philosophy, I think I'm going to go with Ziggler, Cesaro and Neville to get the win here. Honestly, I don't really see the heels winning, to be honest, in the kickoff show. But I'm going to go with a prediction here that King Barrett will get pinned, because the WWE really just do not see anything in Wade Barrett. And you know how I know that? Because they give him this stupid King gimmick. So that's all the evidence I need, really. So yeah, my prediction, Ziggler, Cesaro, Neville. Right, so next we'll talk about the Tag Team Championship match. So the New Day against the Dudley Boys. This one I'm really kind of not sure about, because I'm thinking I'm really loving the New Day. I'm really digging them. I think they're great, and they're winning. Well, they've held the title since SummerSlam, and you know, the Dudley Boys. I mean, the New Day have been holding on to the titles against the Dudleys one way or another, like, you know, interference and DQ and that sort of thing. So, you know, you would think the Dudleys would go over here and capture the tag titles, but I'm really not sure. I just have no idea, because I could really see the New Day holding on to the titles, because they've been really enjoyable and one of the more bright sparks on TV. And I think if you take the titles off them, it's just a bit stupid, really, because they're the most entertaining tag team in quite a while, in my opinion. So I really have no idea who is going to win this one. I think I'll go with the New Day, I think, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me if the Dudleys did win, but I think I'll stick with New Day to go over here. Next, we'll look at the Intercontinental Championship match, which is Kevin Owens versus Ryback. This is just a match that I really have no idea on what the feud's been. Really, has there been a feud? I mean, from what I've seen, there hasn't really been anything. But you know, I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens. He just got the title off Ryback at Night of Champions. I'm thinking maybe they'll do something. I think I'll do something with Owens, like going to a feud with Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania. So I think they're going to keep him strong here, and probably beat Ryback and beat future challengers as well. So yeah, not much to say really apart from this one, apart from Kevin Owens going over. Next, we look at the Divas title match, Charlotte versus Nikki Bella. Again, has there really been much of a feud to this? You know, there's been much of a rivalry here. I mean, I know obviously Nikki's getting a rematch, but I haven't really seen much of a kind of rivalry develop here since Night of Champions. I know, again, I'm watching clips off YouTube, and so I'm watching the whole show, but from what I've seen, there really hasn't been anything, which I think is a real shame, because it's supposedly a Divas Revolution, yet we're not getting actual storylines that we can get invested in. I mean, on the main roster, the only real storyline they've really put together in the Divas Revolution since it started was that kind of, you know, the only time I really kind of felt invested was at Night of Champions, when they did the whole thing of Charlotte getting robbed of the title, and then, you know, it made you really wanted to win the belt at the pay-per-view. But that's about it. Like, I really haven't been invested much into these Divas storylines, and they just really haven't. They haven't really done any storylines. Like with look at something like NXT, where you've got, you know, that Sasha Banks versus Bayley storyline that just finished. That was great because you really got behind Bayley because, you know, she was the underdog. Even when she won the title off Sasha, like, she had a 30-minute Iron Man match. She still had a lot to prove, you know, considering Sasha was on the main roster, and, you know, Sasha was always saying how Bayley just wasn't good enough. And, you know, Bayley winning those two matches really kind of, you know, going into those matches, it really made you want Bayley to win and prove Sasha wrong. And, you know, Sasha as well was great as a heel. I mean, for God's sake, she made a child cry in that match, but that's a different point. But yeah, there's just nothing really there's nothing really that I can get behind in this Divas Revolution. But anyway, as a prediction for this match, I think I'll probably go with Charlotte. I think they're probably going to have a belt but on her for quite a while as well. Hopefully we'll get a Sasha Banks feud and Charlotte, a feud between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. I'd really like to see that, if I'm being honest. But yeah, my prediction, Charlotte. We then have the US title match, John Cena versus an unannounced opponent. It will be a US Open Challenge. So essentially it could be anyone from Zack Ryder to, you know, Adam Rose. So I don't think it'll be those guys, but, you know, it's an open challenge, so anyone can go for it. I think what they'll do is I have a few options here. One person is Daniel Bryan. I think Bryan's one of those guys where, like, whenever there's a mystery person kind of thing, like a Night of Champions, for example, with the 6-man tag, you know, Bryan's always a guy you can throw in there because he's been cleared by his doctor, but the WWE doctors haven't, and apparently there are rumours of them asking a third doctor. I haven't really heard much apart from that. Maybe it's been addressed. I have no idea. But I think maybe we could see a Daniel Bryan return. Who knows? I don't think that will happen. Another person I've heard people throw around is Tyler Breeze. He's been kind of floating around on NXT, not really doing anything. And this could be a way to kind of, you know, make a big impact for him on the main roster. I don't think it'll be him either. My guess will probably be Dolph Ziggler, and he'll probably win the US title in some heel fashion and probably make a heel turn if I was to make a guess. So my prediction will be whoever's challenging for the title will win, because Cena's obviously taking a break after Hell in a Cell. So my guess will be the challenger, who I think will be Dolph Ziggler. Next, the first of 2 Hell in a Cell matches, Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. I think this is probably the end of the Reigns-Wyatt feud. And, you know, it hasn't been too bad. I mean, at first it was a bit, you know, kind of, when it first kicked off. Like, they had that match at Battleground, which was a good match. I think it could have been better. Did drag at times, but it was a good match overall, I'd say. But then they incorporated the Wyatt family and Dean Ambrose, and that's definitely given it some life, and been some fun 6-man tag matches. But I think this will probably be the end. They've had quite a few matches with one another. I think definitely this is the end, and I will say Roman Reigns is going over here since it's the blow off, and they obviously want to build up Roman Reigns as the next guy. So I think they'll have him win, unless Bray Wyatt pulls some shenanigans, but I really don't see that happening. So my prediction, simply put, Roman Reigns. Right, now we're on to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Kane, and if Demon Kane loses the match, Corporate Kane will be fired as the Director of Operations. My prediction is going to be Seth Rollins to win this match. But one thing about this feud that I've really found interesting is there's proof that WWE can book long term. Like, they've booked this feud long term. They've shown dissension between Rollins and Kane in the past. You know, back when, you know, corporate Kane was, and you know, was helping out Rollins and J&J. So they've shown, you know, signs of, and they've shown dissension between the two. And then obviously Rollins laughing when Kane took out Brock Lesnar and shattered his ankle. So I think it shows that WWE can book long term and kind of gradually build storyline over time. But it's just a shame that it's with people that we don't care about, like Kane. No one really cares about Kane anymore. You know, it's getting a bit kind of boring and repetitive seeing him, you know, constantly in that high main event position. I will say though, Glenn Jacobs is doing a great job in switching between the Kane and Corporate Kane gimmick. I think him as, you know, being as Corporate Kane is pretty funny. You know, when he's kind of acting as if he has no idea what Demon Kane is doing. I think that is quite funny, and I enjoy that. But it's just a shame that the Kane character really I'm not invested in anymore, because it's just been, he just keeps changing, you know, from Demon to Corporate, and I like how they kind of, you know, change it as like an alter ego, and it's not necessarily Kane changing his personality, but it's kind of like he has two personalities, if that makes sense. But yeah, and also I definitely think Seth Rollins needs to win this match clean. I mean, if he can't beat Kane clean, who is he going to be? You know, it's ridiculous. Pretty much every single match since he won the title, there's been some sort of controversy or bullshit. So I think Rollins needs at least one clean win, and hopefully we'll see it in this match. So my prediction: Seth Rollins. Main event time: Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. And I'm not that hyped for this match, if I'm being honest. And to be honest, the WWE haven't really helped. Lesnar and Undertaker really haven't been on many of these shows going into Hell in a Cell. So how are we supposed to get hyped when we keep forgetting that it's going to happen? They've only really hyped up this match in the last couple of weeks. And I know they had a confrontation this week. But yeah, I'm just not that hyped for it. I mean, it should be, I guess, a good match. But I just think the problem is, you know, again, I think the problem is I don't know. I'm really not that invested in it, and I really don't. I'm really kind of, you know, unsure about who's going to win this. I think I have come to a decision, but it did take me a bit of time to think about who would win. But I definitely think, I mean, I personally think Lesnar should win this match. I think you've had him end the streak, you know, you might as well let him establish that him winning the streak was legitimate, it wasn't a fluke. And, you know, because it would just be really annoying to say, you know, for Undertaker to kind of win this match and prove that all along he was better than Lesnar and that Lesnar's win was a fluke. I think you've just got to establish Lesnar as the better man and was dominant against the Undertaker, to simply put it. So my prediction will be Brock Lesnar. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little prediction video that I did. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and stay tuned for more.